Hey guys, tonight we explore a divine financial miracle that could change your life forever. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing that everything you once thought impossible is now within reach. A divine wealth transformation, ordained by God, is about to happen in your life. What will you do with such a blessing? Tonight, we dive deep into how aligning yourself with divine timing and faith can unlock your financial destiny. Before we begin, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you truly believe in the power of these messages. Let me know where you're tuning in from and what time it is. I'm curious to know. Now, dim the lights, settle in, and let's embark on tonight's journey of transformation together. You've been feeling it, haven't you? That gentle stirring in your spirit, that quiet whisper that keeps telling you something extraordinary is about to shift in your financial world. It's not your imagination, it's divine communication. God has been preparing you for this moment, and tonight, you're going to understand exactly what's been happening in the spiritual realm on your behalf. The signs have been appearing everywhere around you, though you might not have recognized them all. Maybe you've been seeing repeating numbers, or unexpected opportunities have been presenting themselves in unusual ways. Perhaps you've felt an unexplainable peace about your future, even when your current circumstances haven't fully reflected the abundance you know is meant for you. These aren't coincidences. They're confirmations that your divine wealth awakening is already in progress. Think about the conversations you've had recently, the books that have somehow found their way into your hands, the videos that appeared in your feed at exactly the right moment. God has been orchestrating a beautiful symphony of guidance, preparing your heart and mind to receive what He's been holding in store for you. Your spiritual antenna has been getting fine-tuned, becoming more sensitive to the frequencies of abundance and prosperity that surround you. There's something powerful happening in your energy field right now as you watch this. Can you feel it? That slight shift in your breathing, the way your shoulders have relaxed just a little. Your spirit is recognizing truth, and your entire being is beginning to align with the reality of your coming transformation. This isn't about wishful thinking or positive psychology. This is about divine intervention meeting your prepared heart. You've been through seasons of testing, seasons where your faith was stretched and your character was refined. Every challenge you've faced, every financial struggle you've endured, has been shaping you into someone capable of handling the blessing that's approaching. God doesn't just give wealth to anyone. He gives it to those who've been prepared through the fire of experience, those who understand both the responsibility and the joy that comes with divine provision. Your awakening began the moment you started believing that you deserve more than just getting by. It accelerated when you began to see yourself not as a victim of circumstances, but as a beloved child of the Most High, destined for abundance. And tonight, as these words wash over your spirit, you're stepping fully into the awareness of who you really are and what's truly possible for your life. The universe has been rearranging itself around your highest good. Doors that seemed permanently closed are beginning to creak open. People who can help you are being positioned in your path. Resources that you need are being prepared for release. All of this has been happening while you've been sleeping, while you've been working, while you've been simply living your daily life. Your divine wealth awakening isn't just about money, though money will certainly be part of it. It's about recognizing your inherent worth, your connection to infinite supply, your ability to be a conduit of blessing not just for yourself, but for everyone whose life you touch. You're awakening to the truth that you were never meant to struggle, never meant to worry about provision, never meant to live in lack. Tonight marks a turning point. The old version of you, the one who accepted limitation, who believed scarcity was just the way life had to be, is being lovingly released. In its place, a new you is emerging, one who walks in confidence, who expects miracles, who knows without a doubt that your Heavenly Father delights in your prosperity. The walls you've built around your financial dreams weren't constructed overnight, and they won't disappear instantly either. But tonight, God is handing you the spiritual tools to dismantle every single barrier that has kept abundance at arm's length. You've carried these blocks for so long that they've become familiar, almost comfortable in their predictability. But comfort zones, even painful ones, were never meant to be your permanent address. Let's talk about the voice that whispers you're not worthy every time an opportunity presents itself. You know that voice. It sounds rational, protective even, warning you not to get your hopes up, not to reach too high. It disguises itself as wisdom, but it's actually fear wearing a mask of practicality. That voice learned its lines from disappointments you've experienced, from people who projected their own limitations onto your dreams, from a world that sometimes feels designed to keep extraordinary blessings away from ordinary people. But here's what that voice doesn't understand. You were never ordinary to begin with. You were crafted by divine hands, breathed into existence by the same God who spoke galaxies into being. The DNA of abundance runs through your spiritual bloodstream. Every cell in your body, every thought in your mind, every beat of your heart carries the signature of unlimited possibility. Tonight, we're going to trace these abundance blocks back to their source and dissolve them with divine light. Some of them inherited their power from your childhood, when you first learned that money was scarce, that rich people were somehow different from you, that dreaming too big was dangerous. Maybe you watched your parents struggle, and somewhere in your young heart, you decided that struggling was just what people like you did. That decision, made in innocence, has been running your financial life ever since. Other blocks formed during moments of rejection or failure. The business that didn't work out, the investment that went wrong, the person who said you'd never amount to anything. Each disappointment added another layer to the wall, another reason to play it safe, another justification for settling for less than your heart truly desires. But God has been patient with these blocks, understanding why you built them, honoring your need to protect yourself, while simultaneously preparing a way to heal what was broken. He's been sending you experiences that gently challenge your limitations, opportunities that require you to stretch beyond your comfort zone, people who see potential in you that you haven't fully acknowledged yet. Feel into this moment right now. As you breathe in, imagine divine light flowing into every space where fear has been hiding. As you breathe out, feel those old beliefs about money, about worthiness, about what's possible for someone like you, beginning to loosen their grip. This isn't about forcing change. It's about allowing transformation to happen naturally, the way flowers open to sunlight. Your abundance blocks have been serving a purpose, trying to keep you safe from disappointment and pain. Thank them for their service. Acknowledge the protection they've provided, and then gently explain that you're ready now for something different. You're ready to trust again, to hope again, to believe that your story can have a completely different ending than what those blocks predicted. The most stubborn blocks are often the ones that masquerade as humility or spirituality. The belief that wanting financial abundance somehow makes you shallow or materialistic. The idea that good people should be content with less, that desiring wealth is selfish or ungodly. But God doesn't want His children to struggle. He doesn't find glory in your lack. He delights in your prosperity, celebrates your success, and takes pleasure in blessing you abundantly. Right now, in this very moment, Those blocks are beginning to crumble, not through force or effort, but through the gentle, persistent power of divine love, meeting your willingness to receive. You don't have to understand exactly how this works. You just have to be open to the possibility that everything you've believed about limitation might be wrong. As these barriers dissolve, you're going to feel lighter, freer, more hopeful than you have in years. Dreams that you buried will start to resurface. Ideas that you dismissed as impossible will begin to seem realistic. Opportunities that you would have automatically rejected will suddenly appear attractive and achievable. The person you're becoming, the one without these blocks, is someone who expects good things to happen, who believes in miracles, who knows that the universe is conspiring in their favor. This person doesn't apologize for their dreams or minimize their desires. They understand that their prosperity serves a divine purpose, that their abundance creates ripples of blessing that touch countless other lives. There's a sacred rhythm to the universe, a divine clockwork that operates beyond human understanding. And tonight you're discovering that your financial miracle has been perfectly synchronized with this celestial timing. While you've been wondering when your breakthrough would come, God has been orchestrating events across time and space, aligning circumstances, preparing hearts, and positioning resources for the exact moment when you're ready to receive what He's been preparing. Divine timing isn't about delays, it's about precision. Every day you've waited, every month that seemed to stretch endlessly without the change you've been praying for, has been purposeful preparation. God sees the full picture of your life, the intricate web of connections and possibilities that you can only glimpse in fragments. He knows that releasing your blessing too early would be like giving a child the keys to a car before they've learned to drive. But something has shifted in recent weeks, hasn't it? You've felt a quickening in your spirit, an acceleration of synchronicities and meaningful coincidences. The spiritual seasons are changing, and you're moving from a time of preparation into a time of manifestation. What has been hidden is about to be revealed. What has been developing in secret is about to burst forth into the light. Think about the master gardener who plants seeds in autumn, waters them through winter's cold darkness, and watches patiently as nothing appears to be happening on the surface. But beneath the soil, an entire transformation is taking place. Roots are growing deeper, stems are strengthening, and life force is building toward an inevitable spring breakthrough. Your financial miracle has been growing in the same way, invisible but very real, gathering power and momentum for its perfect unveiling. You've been asking when for so long that you may have stopped believing when would ever come. But God's timing operates in kairos moments, not chronological time, but perfect time, appointed time, time that carries supernatural significance. This is your kairos season. This is the appointed time when heaven and earth collaborate to birth your financial miracle into reality. The delay hasn't been punishment or divine indifference. It's been preparation and protection rolled into one beautiful package. God has been using this time to develop your character, to deepen your faith, to expand your capacity to handle the blessing that's coming. He's also been busy behind the scenes, moving mountains you didn't even know existed, opening doors you haven't even approached yet, and preparing hearts to say yes to opportunities that will change your life forever. Consider how many times you've thought you knew the perfect timing for something, only to discover later that the delay saved you from disaster or positioned you for something far better than you originally imagined. Divine timing carries within it a wisdom that surpasses human understanding. It accounts for variables you can't see, factors you haven't considered, and possibilities you haven't even dreamed of yet. Right now, as you sit in this moment, Multiple streams of blessing are converging toward your life. People are making decisions that will affect your future prosperity. Resources are being released from places you've never heard of. Opportunities are being crafted specifically for your unique gifts and circumstances. All of this is happening in divine timing, with precision that would make a Swiss watchmaker weep with envy. Your part in this divine choreography isn't to force or manipulate or try to speed up the process. Your part is to stay aligned, to remain expectant, to keep your heart open and your spirit sensitive to the leading of the Holy Spirit. When divine timing activates, doors open that no human power could have opened. Favor flows from unexpected sources. Resources appear through channels you never would have thought to explore. The same God who hung the stars in perfect formation, who orchestrates the migration of birds across continents, who synchronizes the tides with lunar cycles, has been coordinating every detail of your financial breakthrough. Nothing is random. Nothing is accidental. Every experience you've had, every person you've met, every skill you've developed has been part of a master plan that's about to culminate in ways that will take your breath away. You're standing at the threshold of your Kairos moment, the invisible door between your current reality and your divine destiny is beginning to swing open. Divine timing isn't just aligning with your needs, it's aligning with your readiness, your growth, your expanded capacity to be a good steward of unprecedented blessing. Trust the timing, even when you can't see the full picture. Trust the process, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Trust the God who has never missed an appointment, never been late to a divine encounter, never failed to deliver on a promise made to his beloved children. There's an art to receiving that goes far deeper than simply opening your hands. It's about opening your entire being to the flow of divine abundance that wants to pour into your life. You've been so accustomed to striving, to earning, to proving your worthiness, that the idea of simply receiving might feel foreign, even uncomfortable. But tonight, you're learning to become a master receiver, someone who can gracefully accept the blessings that God has been longing to give you. Many people struggle with receiving because they've confused it with being passive or entitled. But sacred receiving is actually an active, powerful spiritual practice. It requires courage to believe you're worthy of blessings you didn't earn. It demands faith to trust that the universe isn't playing tricks on you, that good things really can flow into your life without strings attached. It takes strength to resist the urge to immediately give everything away or sabotage your own blessing. Right now, examine your relationship with receiving. When someone compliments you, do you deflect it or diminish it? When unexpected money comes your way, do you immediately worry about when the other shoe will drop? When opportunities present themselves, do you automatically assume there must be a catch? These patterns reveal how comfortable or uncomfortable you are with being blessed, and they directly impact how much abundance can flow into your experience. God is the ultimate giver, and givers need receivers to complete the sacred circle of exchange. When you resist receiving, you're actually blocking the flow of blessing, not just for yourself, but for everyone downstream from your abundance. Your financial miracle isn't just about you, it's about all the lives you'll touch, all the dreams you'll fund, all the kingdom purposes you'll advance when you step into your role as a conduit of divine provision. Think about the ocean and how it receives tributaries, streams, and rivers without resistance or apology. The ocean doesn't question whether it deserves the water flowing into it. It simply receives and, in receiving, becomes magnificent enough to nourish countless forms of life. You're being called to embody that same receptive majesty, to become a person who can receive abundantly and therefore give abundantly. Your hands have been clenched for so long, holding tightly to what little you have, afraid that opening them might mean losing everything. But clenched fists can't receive new blessings. Tonight, you're learning to relax your grip, to open your palms toward heaven, to trust that what's meant for you will stay, and what's meant to flow through you will serve its divine purpose before moving on. There's a beautiful vulnerability in receiving that connects you directly to the heart of God. When you allow yourself to be blessed without feeling obligated to immediately reciprocate or justify the gift, you're acknowledging your beloved child's status in the kingdom. You're declaring that you trust the giver's heart, that you believe his intentions toward you are good, that you're worthy of love that gives without condition. Some of your resistance to receiving might come from past experiences where gifts came with hidden expectations or emotional manipulation. Perhaps someone used their generosity as a tool of control, making you feel indebted or guilty for accepting what was offered. These experiences can create scar tissue around your ability to receive freely, but God's gifts don't come with emotional baggage or manipulative strings. Divine abundance flows to you because you exist, because you matter, because you're loved beyond measure. There are no performance requirements, no fine print, no hidden agendas. The blessing is yours simply because you're you, and the God who created you delights in your joy, celebrates your success, and finds pleasure in watching you thrive. As you practice receiving, you'll notice that it actually increases your capacity to give. When you're constantly worried about lack, constantly stressed about resources, you operate from a scarcity mindset that limits your generosity. But when you know that you're connected to infinite supply, when you trust that your needs are always met, you can give freely and joyfully because you're not giving from your reserves, you're giving from the overflow. Your financial miracle is going to require you to receive in ways you've never received before. Larger amounts, unexpected sources, unprecedented opportunities. If you're not practiced in the art of receiving, these blessings might feel overwhelming or even intimidating. But you're developing that skill right now, in this moment, as you allow these words to penetrate your heart and shift your perspective. Breathe deeply and imagine your entire being as a beautiful vessel, perfectly designed to receive and channel divine abundance. See yourself as worthy not because of what you've done, but because of who you are. Feel the resistance melting away, replaced by a graceful expectancy that says, "Yes, I'm ready to receive all the good that God has prepared for me." Deep within your spiritual DNA lies a magnetism so powerful that it can draw prosperity from dimensions you've never even imagined. This isn't about positive thinking or manifestation techniques. This is about awakening a divine frequency that's been dormant within you, waiting for the perfect moment to be activated. Tonight, that moment has arrived, and you're about to discover how your entire energetic signature is being recalibrated to attract the financial miracle that bears your name. Your wealth magnetism operates on principles that transcend physical laws. It's not about what you do or don't do. It's about who you are at the deepest level of your being. Every thought you think, every word you speak, every emotion you feel is broadcasting a signal into the universe, and that signal determines what flows back to you. For too long, your signal has been clouded by doubt, dimmed by disappointment, and distorted by beliefs that don't reflect your true divine nature. But something extraordinary is happening in your energy field. Right now, can you sense it? That subtle shift in the atmosphere around you, that gentle tingling in your chest, that inexplicable knowing that something significant is changing. Your spiritual frequency is being fine-tuned to match the vibration of abundance. Old patterns that have been blocking your magnetic power are dissolving, making room for a new energetic signature that calls forth miracles. Think of yourself as a divine tuning fork, created to resonate at the frequency of prosperity. When you're in alignment with this frequency, opportunities find you effortlessly. Resources appear from unexpected directions. People are naturally drawn to support your vision. Doors open that you never even knocked on. This isn't luck or coincidence. It's the natural result of operating in your authentic spiritual frequency. The universe has been waiting for you to remember who you really are, to step into the fullness of your magnetic power, to stop playing small and start embodying the abundant being you were created to be. Every time you've doubted your worthiness, every time you've accepted less than you desired, every time you've made excuses for lack, you've been operating below your true frequency. But those days are ending now. Your magnetism is being activated through layers of your being that you're just beginning to understand. Your thoughts are becoming aligned with divine truth about your identity and destiny. Your emotions are stabilizing in frequencies of gratitude, expectancy, and joy. Your actions are naturally organizing themselves around activities that support your highest good. Even your sleep is becoming more restorative as your subconscious mind releases old programming and receives new instructions about your reality. This magnetism isn't selfish or self-serving. It's actually a form of service to the world. When you operate in your full magnetic power, you become a blessing magnet that doesn't just attract resources for yourself, but creates a field of abundance that lifts everyone around you. Your success gives others permission to succeed. Your prosperity proves that miracles are still possible. Your transformation becomes a beacon of hope for everyone who witnesses it. The magnetic field around you is expanding even as you read these words. It's reaching into places you've never been, touching hearts you've never met, activating connections that will serve your divine purpose. This field operates according to spiritual laws that guarantee return on alignment, promise harvest for every seed of faith you plant, ensure that what you need will find its way to you. You're not trying to attract anything that isn't already yours by divine right. You're simply remembering your natural state, returning to your original frequency, reclaiming the magnetic power that was never actually lost, just temporarily forgotten. This remembering is happening at cellular level, rewiring your nervous system to expect good things, restructuring your beliefs to accommodate miracles, retraining your heart to receive without resistance. As your magnetism strengthens, you'll notice that the right people start appearing in your life at exactly the right time. Conversations will flow in directions that serve your prosperity. Opportunities will present themselves with perfect timing. Resources will seem to multiply in your hands. This isn't magic, it's the natural operation of spiritual law, responding to your activated frequency. The wealth that's being drawn to you isn't random wealth. It's specifically designed wealth, purposeful abundance that fits perfectly with your calling, your gifts, and your destiny. Every dollar that flows into your experience will carry with it an assignment, a reason for being, a divine purpose that extends far beyond your personal comfort. This is why your magnetism had to be activated now, at this precise moment in your spiritual development, because now you're ready to handle both the blessing and the responsibility it carries. Feel the power building in your energy field. Trust the magnetic pull that's drawing your miracle toward you. Know that what's yours by divine design cannot be kept from you, cannot be given to another, cannot be delayed beyond its perfect timing. Throughout the ages, there have been hidden keys to prosperity that were passed down through bloodlines of faith, whispered in sacred chambers, and preserved in the hearts of those who understood the deeper mysteries of divine provision. These aren't secrets that were meant to be hidden forever. They were protected, waiting for souls who were ready to handle such powerful wisdom with reverence and responsibility. Tonight, you're being entrusted with ancient prosperity secrets that have the power to transform not just your bank account, but your entire relationship with abundance. The first secret the ancients knew was that true wealth begins in the unseen realm. Before gold was ever mined from the earth, before currencies were ever printed, before markets were ever established, there existed a spiritual economy where thoughts become things, where faith becomes substance, where divine intentions crystallize into material reality. The wise ones of old understood that to access earthly riches, you must first learn to navigate heavenly treasures. They knew that the universe operates on the principle of correspondence, as above, so below. Whatever exists in the spiritual realm must eventually manifest in the physical realm, provided there's a clear channel for that manifestation to flow through. You are that channel. Your consciousness, your faith, your aligned actions create the bridge between divine intention and earthly experience. Consider the ancient practice of tithing, not as a religious obligation, but as a prosperity secret wrapped in spiritual clothing. The ancients understood that giving from your first fruits, even when resources seemed scarce, created a supernatural portal for abundance to flow. It demonstrated trust in unseen supply, activated the law of reciprocity, and aligned the giver with the generous heart of the divine. This wasn't about earning God's favor through payment. It was about positioning yourself in the flow of abundance through radical trust. Another secret the ancients guarded carefully was the power of spoken blessing over their resources. They knew that words carry creative force, that what you declare over your money, your business, your opportunities literally shapes their destiny. Every time you speak ekalak over your finances, every time you confess limitation over your future, you're using this same creative power in reverse. But when you learn to speak blessing, to prophesy prosperity, to declare divine favor over every dollar that passes through your hands, you activate multiplication at the quantum level. The wise ones also understood the mystery of seed time and harvest in ways that modern minds often miss. They knew that the seed you plant today determines not just the size of tomorrow's harvest, but the very nature of what grows. Plant seeds of generosity, and generosity returns to you multiplied. Plant seeds of faith in impossible situations, and impossibilities bow to your favor. Plant seeds of gratitude even in difficult seasons, and watch how circumstances rearrange themselves to give you more reasons to be grateful. They practiced something that few understand today, the art of blessing their enemies' prosperity. This wasn't about being naive or passive in the face of opposition. This was strategic spiritual warfare, understanding that bitterness and resentment create energetic blocks that dam up the flow of blessing in your own life. When you can genuinely celebrate another person's success, even someone who has wronged you, you free up massive amounts of creative energy that immediately begins working on your behalf. The ancients knew that time and money were both forms of energy, and that how you stewarded one directly affected your access to the other. They understood that wasting time created poverty consciousness, while honoring time as sacred opened doorways to supernatural provision. They knew that rushing and striving actually repelled abundance, while moving in divine rhythm attracted resources effortlessly. Perhaps most importantly, they understood the secret of divine inheritance, that as children of the Most High, they had legal rights to abundance that could never be revoked, regardless of earthly circumstances. They lived not as beggars hoping for scraps, but as princes and princesses temporarily in disguise. confident that their true identity would eventually be revealed through their prosperity. These ancient ones knew how to pray prayers that moved heaven and earth, how to speak words that changed the molecular structure of their circumstances, how to walk in such alignment with divine will that miracles became their normal experience. They understood that lack was always a temporary illusion, that God's resources were always more than sufficient, that their job was simply to position themselves as conduits for heaven's abundance to flow through. Tonight, this ancient wisdom is being reactivated in your spirit. These secrets aren't just historical curiosities. They're living principles that work just as powerfully today as they did thousands of years ago. The same God who prospered Abraham, who multiplied the widow's oil, who funded David's kingdom, is ready to demonstrate his goodness in your financial life using these timeless principles. The person you've been is about to give way to the person you're becoming. And this transformation goes far deeper than your bank account. It's a complete identity shift that touches every aspect of who you are and how you move through the world. Tonight, you're stepping into your new financial identity, the version of yourself that God has always seen, the prosperous, confident, generous being that you were created to be before fear and limitation ever clouded your vision. This new identity isn't something you have to create or manufacture. It's something you're remembering, uncovering, allowing to emerge from beneath layers of conditioning and false beliefs. The abundant you has always existed in the mind of God, fully formed, completely equipped, absolutely worthy of every blessing that's flowing toward your life. What's happening now is simply the alignment of your earthly experience with your heavenly reality. Feel how different this new version of yourself moves through space. There's a confidence in your step that comes not from arrogance, but from deep knowing. You walk like someone who expects doors to open, opportunities to appear, favor to manifest. You carry yourself with the quiet assurance of someone who knows they're loved, provided for, and destined for increase. This isn't pretending or fake it till you make it energy. This is authentic alignment with your true spiritual identity. Notice how this new identity thinks about money. There's no desperation, no scarcity-driven decision-making, no fear of not having enough. Instead, there's a peaceful knowing that resources flow to you naturally, that you're connected to infinite supply, that your needs are always met before you even recognize them as needs. This version of you sees money as energy, as a tool for blessing, as a current that flows through your life to accomplish divine purposes. Your new financial identity makes decisions from abundance rather than lack. When opportunities arise, you evaluate them based on alignment with your purpose, not just on potential income. When investments present themselves, you consider them with wisdom rather than desperation. When it's time to give, you do so joyfully, knowing that your generosity creates space for even greater blessings to enter your experience. This transformed version of yourself speaks differently about money and success. Gone are the self-deprecating comments about being broke or struggling. Gone are the jokes that mask financial anxiety. Gone are the conversations that reinforce limitation. Instead, you speak with gratitude about provision, with faith about future increase, with wisdom about stewardship. Your words align with your identity, and your identity aligns with God's vision for your life. Watch how this new identity relates to wealthy people. There's no longer any jealousy, resentment, or feeling of separation between you and those who are prospering. Instead, you see them as evidence of what's possible, as confirmation that abundance is real and available. You celebrate their success because you understand that in God's economy, there's more than enough for everyone. Their prosperity doesn't diminish your potential, it proves it. Your new financial identity carries a different relationship with time. You're no longer in a hurry to make things happen, no longer anxious about timing, no longer stressed about deadlines that seem impossible to meet. You move in divine rhythm, trusting that everything is unfolding perfectly, that delays are protection, that God's timing is always perfect. This peace around timing actually accelerates your manifestation because you're not creating resistance through worry. This transformed you has learned to receive compliments, opportunities, and blessings without immediately deflecting or diminishing them. When someone recognizes your gifts, you say thank you and receive their words as confirmation of your divine assignment. When doors open unexpectedly, you walk through them with gratitude rather than suspicion. When money flows in, you accept it gracefully, knowing that you're worthy of every blessing. Your new identity understands that wealth is not just about having money. It's about being a conduit for blessing in the earth. You see yourself as a steward of resources that will fund kingdom purposes, support worthy causes, and create opportunities for others to prosper. This perspective transforms your relationship with increase from selfish acquisition to sacred responsibility. The financial identity you're stepping into tonight has been tested by fire and proven by faith. It's stable, secure, and unshakable because it's rooted in divine truth rather than temporary circumstances. Economic downturns don't frighten this version of you because you know your source isn't the economy, it's God. Job changes don't devastate this identity because you understand that your security comes from your relationship with the divine, not from human institutions. As you fully embrace this new financial identity, you'll find that external circumstances begin to shift to match your internal transformation. The universe has no choice but to rearrange itself around your new frequency. What you believe about yourself at the deepest level becomes the template for what manifests in your experience. This isn't positive thinking or self-help psychology. This is spiritual truth revealing itself through your transformed consciousness. You are who God says you are. You have what He says you have. And you can do what He says you can do. Your new financial identity is simply the earthly expression of these eternal realities. The final and most crucial step in your divine financial transformation is learning to seal it through sacred trust, a deep, unshakable confidence that transcends every circumstance, every delay, every apparent contradiction to what you know God has promised. This isn't blind faith or wishful thinking. This is intelligent trust built on the solid foundation of God's character and His unwavering commitment to those He loves. Tonight, you're discovering how to anchor your faith so deeply that nothing can disturb your peace or derail your destiny. Sacred trust operates in a realm beyond what your natural senses can perceive. It holds steady when bank accounts look the same, when opportunities seem delayed, when others question your confidence in breakthrough. This trust doesn't need constant evidence or immediate results to remain strong because it's rooted in the unchanging nature of a God who has never broken a promise, never missed an appointment, never left His children orphaned or abandoned. Think of this trust as the invisible foundation beneath every miracle you've ever witnessed. Before water turned to wine, trust was present. Before 5 loaves fed 5,000, trust was active. Before the Red Sea parted, trust was operating. Without this foundation, even the most powerful prayers remain incomplete. Even the clearest visions struggle to manifest. Even the strongest faith can waver under pressure. Your sacred trust is being tested and strengthened right now, not through hardship or suffering, but through the beautiful tension of knowing something extraordinary is coming while living in the space between promise and fulfillment. This is where trust becomes most valuable, in the waiting room of faith. in the hallway between rooms, in the sacred pause before breakthrough bursts forth in visible form. This trust you're cultivating tonight carries within it a supernatural peace that settles every anxious thought about your financial future. When trust is fully activated, worry becomes impossible because you know beyond doubt that everything is working together for your good. Even apparent setbacks serve your ultimate prosperity. Even unexpected delays position you for greater blessing. Even challenges that seem designed to discourage you actually strengthen your capacity to handle the abundance that's approaching. Sacred trust also carries profound gratitude, not just for what you hope to receive, but for what's already in motion on your behalf. You're grateful for the miracle before it arrives, thankful for the breakthrough before it appears, celebrating the victory before it manifests. This isn't presumption. It's mature faith that recognizes God's promises as already accomplished in the spiritual realm, simply awaiting their perfect time to enter physical reality. Your trust is becoming so stable, so unshakable, that it creates a protective atmosphere around your entire financial transformation. Doubt cannot penetrate this atmosphere. Fear has no access to your heart. Discouragement finds no place to land in your spirit. You're living in a bubble of divine confidence that shields your miracle from every force that would attempt to abort or delay it. This sacred trust transforms your prayers from desperate pleas into confident declarations. You're no longer begging God for what you need. You're thanking Him for what He's already provided. You're not asking if He will bless you. You're expressing gratitude that He already has. Your prayer life becomes a celebration of divine goodness rather than a catalog of human lack. Watch how this trust affects your daily decisions and interactions. You make choices from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. You speak words that align with your destiny rather than your current circumstances. You invest time and energy in activities that support your divine vision rather than merely maintaining your present reality. Every aspect of your life begins to reflect the confidence that flows from unshakable trust. This trust you're sealing tonight will sustain you through every season ahead. When circumstances seem to contradict what you know is true, trust will keep you steady. When others question your confidence in God's provision, trust will keep you peaceful. When opportunities require you to step beyond your comfort zone, trust will give you courage to move forward. Sacred trust is the final ingredient that transforms your financial miracle from possibility to certainty, from hope to reality, from future promise to present experience. It's the golden thread that weaves together every element of your transformation, your awakening, your freedom from blocks, your alignment with divine timing, your capacity to receive, your activated magnetism, your ancient wisdom, and your new identity into one seamless tapestry of abundant life. As these words settle into your spirit, feel the deep peace that comes from knowing your financial transformation is sealed in sacred trust. Rest in the confidence that what God has promised, He will perform. Sleep in the assurance that your miracle is already in motion. Wake tomorrow with the quiet knowing that your abundant life has already begun. Sweet dreams. Beloved, your breakthrough is sealed.